Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about what's the gossip about you, what are people saying about you behind your back. And I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can always just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then I'll just move on to the reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1, what's the gossip about group number 1? What are people saying about group number 1 behind group number 1's back? What's being said about group number 1? Okay, so some people might see you as a bit strange, or a bit like, I'm just sensing that there are some people around you, maybe classmates or co-workers or something, and these people, they talk about how you are a bit into, maybe you're into some weird things, or I'm just hearing that they see you as a bit loco, like maybe you've been talking about something, maybe to do with spirituality or animal totems or spirit animals or something like that, and for some reason people kind of like the chain broke or something, like they felt like the chain broke, like that you had lost your mind a bit. Or maybe there's something about a chain that broke, or some but maybe they feel like you used to be a bit different and now you've kind of changed a bit because now you're into this. Maybe you were always into spirituality, but for some reason some people around you, they feel like you weren't into that before, and so they kind of might think you've changed your personality, or that your personality has changed because of this hobby or this new hobby of yours. Maybe you have a new hobby, and it might not have anything to do with spirituality, but like you might have gained a new hobby and you are very excited about that, but it seems as if people around you, they don't seem to understand this hobby. They feel like it's a bit quirky, or a bit like just not usual or regular. And there's also something about just animals, like that maybe you're into animals, or maybe this is maybe this is a new hobby of yours, or I know that's maybe more specific for a few of you, but maybe you have rescued a dog, or maybe you have rescued a cat, or rescued another animal. It doesn't matter what animal, but and you might have felt like that was the right thing to do for you at the time, or this is what you are supposed to do now. And maybe some people around you, they feel like that's not you, or that's not for you, or you should be having children instead, or that you shouldn't have animals, you should have babies. Like, I don't know, but this came through. This feels like maybe it could have been something like a family member said to you, more likely than like, or not said to you, but said behind your back. I mean, maybe they said it to your face as well, and then they have just repeated it to other people because they felt like that was a cool thing to say, even though it wasn't. But there might be some family member who's very, very like not very discreet. Like this person talks shit about you behind your back, but she also does it to your face, and then she repeats what she said to you to everybody else behind your back because she's so proud of what she said. So yeah, and this person might have said something about how you shouldn't have that you shouldn't have pets, you should start having children, or maybe something else about a new hobby of yours that she didn't approve of, or something. But I don't know. Knight of Swords. I feel like so I think there is some talk about how you try to that you have with this card here, like you can see how there's a wagon here, and it's like in front of the wagon is these angels, but it's also babies. So it kind of still feels like people are talking about how you need to have babies, that that's the only way you can come out in the world or move forward in your life, is to have children. Like these babies are moving the wagon forward. Like babies are the way to the future, or way to whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so it seems as if some people are saying that you need to have children. Maybe this is also like a friend of yours who's in a relationship right now and is having children at the moment, and feel like you are a bit behind because you're not having children. Or maybe she feels like you can't really be a good friend to her unless you have children, because you don't have a lot in common right now if you don't have children. Like then you don't, maybe she feels like you don't really resonate with each other on that level, or in that sense. But I'm also sensing that there might be something about spirituality, because it's of course angel babies. So there could be something about how, like some people might be talking about how you're not really, how you've discovered spirituality, and you feel like maybe you want to see where it goes. Like maybe you recently realized that you were psychic or had some kind of psychic abilities, and you kind of want to look into it, or discover it, or investigate it, see what it's all about. And so you might have started studying or doing the research about it, and and you might have said to some people that maybe you feel like this could actually move you forward in your career, or maybe you want a career in the spiritual community, and so you want to see where it goes. And I think some people are gossiping about how you are trying to use spirituality or the spiritual community to move yourself forward in the in your career path. Or maybe some people have said that they felt like you didn't really know where you were going career-wise, and so now you kind of have taken this whole different route because the other one wasn't really working out or something, and so now you're trying this. And people, I feel like there is some skepticism in your, especially in your family, I think, about this, and they really don't feel like you can make a living out of it or something. And so yeah, there could also be a Pisces for a few of you, because these angel babies, they have fish on their head, and so there could also be some gossip about how you're using someone in your life, and that someone could be a Pisces, like that you're kind of only hanging out with this person because you want something from them. And I don't think that's the truth, but maybe someone is gossiping about how you're just using a Pisces, someone who's a Pisces, to move forward, and you're kind of expecting this person to kind of have your back, or drag you, or help you move forward in some way. Or that you rely on a Pisces, that you're dependent on a Pisces, or maybe a bit codependent on a Pisces. And if you're in a relationship with a Pisces, I know it's only for maybe a few of you or one of you, but I think some people are saying that you're kind of dominating this person, or that you're kind of being a bit of a bit controlling, and controlling what this person does. But that's more specific for one of you. But there's also something about roses here. There could be like some of you could have a tattoo of a rose, and maybe that really means a lot to you. But some people are gossiping about how you shouldn't have a tattoo because of your line of work, or something like that, or that they just don't approve of tattoos in general. With the sun, there could also be something about how people feel like you need to get more sun, or go more out in the sun. Maybe you're really pale, or maybe you have a vitamin D deficiency, or maybe you have a vitamin D deficiency, and maybe you have told someone that you have that, and they might have neglected that it was a problem, or talked to someone about how it's actually not real, that it's just because you're not out in the sun as much as you should be, or something, so that it's not a real deficiency or whatever. I don't know. But I'm gonna shuffle some more for you, group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1. Ace of Cups reversed. So there is something here about how you're not, some people might be saying that you're not really very genuine in your emotions, that you're not because Ace of Cups is reversed here, that you're maybe only showing emotions when it's convenient to you, and I don't think that's the truth. It's just someone, I think it's more likely someone in your family who's been saying this, because maybe you have recently reached out to a family member, maybe a distant family member, maybe a cousin or an aunt, but still someone you haven't talked to for many years, and so there's a lot of distance between you, and so you might have reached out to that person quite recently. This is more specific for a few of you, so if it doesn't resonate, then just close your ears. But I think this person, they feel like you reached out, and they are happy that you reached out to them, but they still feel like you weren't completely genuine in your reaching out, like or maybe they felt like it was genuine in the beginning, but then you haven't stayed in contact afterwards, and so they just assumed that you weren't actually looking for that. You were just looking for some kind of closure or some kind of sign from the universe that maybe it was the right thing, that your family actually closed off from that side of the family so many years ago. It's kind of that they felt like maybe they felt like they were a bit used or abused, not abused but used. How do you say that? Like not abused, but like when you take advantage, or like that she or he, this family member, felt like they were just a pawn in your play, a piece of the, like that you reached out to them and pour your heart out to them, and they poured their heart out to you, but then the contact stopped, and they assumed that it was just because you never actually wanted a relationship with them to begin with. It was just a part of your journey to discover yourself or find some kind of epiphany within your life, or find some kind of relief from something. I don't know. So this could have been a family member. This could also have been someone else, like an ex of yours, or some friend you had in the past, or something where you reached out to them after years and years apart from this person. Then suddenly you reached out to them, and you told them how they felt about why you left things the way you left things, and they said that they poured their heart out to you about why they left things or why they whatever, and then it just like ended there, like you and then this person just felt like you needed closure, and that they were kind of that you used them in order to gain closure for yourself, and that was kind of selfish in their mind. But I don't think it was. I think you needed that, and don't feel bad about doing it if that was what you needed at the time. They'll get over it, I think. So, but with the Page of Swords reversed, I think there could have been something about I think there might be some gossip about there might be some gossip about a past relationship of yours, that ended badly. And I think there might be some talk about how it ended badly because they overstepped your boundaries, and that you're like, yeah, so there are people talking about that too. Like there's some gossip about it, and or rumors. The rumors are, I feel like for some of you they are sort of true, because I think you did break up because there was a person who overstepped your boundaries, but people might have talked about it and maybe over exaggerated it to the point where they, like, I don't know, I feel like this could have been a friend of yours, or some friends, or maybe family members, I don't know, but like but someone very close to you who felt like it was a lot harder on you than you remember it to be. Like they felt like you were more damaged by this whole relationship than you feel you actually were. I don't know. But with the Ace of Swords upright, I feel like people see you as someone who's not really ready to talk about your feelings. You're a bit distant from your feelings. You're not like, you do pour your heart out sometimes and tell people how you feel and how you felt. But I think it's mostly in retrospect that I think you're very bad at, or sorry, and I'm not trying to offend any of you, but this is more what other people are saying, of course. I feel like some people might be saying that you're not good at showing emotions in the moment. Like if you're hurt in the moment, then you don't show emotions in the moment. Like when you're being hurt by a person, or when someone makes you sad, you put on like a poker face, and you don't want them to see your weakness. And so people tend to see you as a bit of an iron lady, or a bit like a stone, like someone who seems very, very like you're not affected by anything that goes on. But then a few years later, when you talk about what happened back then you talk about it with a lot of emotions. Like then you can cry about it. Then you can tell people how that hurt you. But you only seem to be able to do that in retrospect. Like when you look back at it, you can show the emotions, but you can't show the emotions when it's happening. So people don't I think some people feel like they don't really know if, like, this kind of makes some people, especially the people near you, they might feel a bit uneasy around you, because they never know if they're actually hurting you or doing something that you don't like, or that you actually consider overstepping your boundaries, and they don't know, because they feel like they'll only know about it a few years from now. So and maybe that is true. Maybe it's something that you need to work on, trying to be better at expressing your emotions when you're in the moment, when you're being hurt in the moment. But that is hard, I know. But just think about it from the perspective of other people, that of course other people do seem to like, I know, like, we can be tough on people, and some people seem to also be kind of idiots. Like, it should be obvious to some people that you are hurt. It, like, you might feel like you, and that's maybe because you're a psychic. Like, that's kind of a curse of being a psychic. Sometimes you because you know when other people are hurt without them having to tell that to you, then you feel like other people should be able to do the same. Because we tend to think that way, especially people who are psychic but not really realizing that they are psychic. They, of course, think that everybody is the same way as them, because they believe that they themselves are normal. So so I think maybe don't be so hard on people. Some people just I don't think you are hard on people at all, but because I do understand the urge to be annoyed by people that hurt you so obviously, say hurtful things to you, and then they don't realize that they are hurting you. Like, how stupid do you have to be to not be able to tell that that words can hurt another person, especially when you're saying things that are obviously objectively hurtful. Like, from an objective perspective, it should be obvious to people, but it isn't. So some people don't really realize that they are being too much or overstepping your boundaries unless you tell them that they are doing that, and so you just have to, like, really spell it out to people, because they're not gonna figure it out on their own, and it's kind of their fault, but it's also not their fault because they don't know, and like, they don't know better. Like, so yeah. So sometimes, like, don't get so annoyed by people when they don't seem to realize their impact on you, unless you tell them. If you tell them how they are hurting you and they still keep hurting you, then don't give them second chances and stuff like that. Then they are obviously doing it on purpose. But some people are not doing it on purpose. They are just not really aware of how they come across and how their words actually hurt people. So but yeah, but I think mostly, like, people people do seem to like, people see you as a bit mysterious. They don't really know what's going on in your head, and that can be like an advantage that you have, that people don't seem to be able to figure you out, but you seem to be able to figure other people out quite easily, and so you have kind of an advantage over people in that sense. But people do seem to really want you to be more open to them, and but not when it comes to, like, your spiritual side. Then it's okay to be a bit hush hush, and so it's kind of people seem to just want to hear what they want to hear, and so they don't want to hear about things that they don't understand, and if they don't understand the spiritual community, they don't want to talk about it. And so if you are into animal totems, or into spirit animals or into angel numbers or something like ancestor worship or something like that, then you should of course share it with people if you want to, but just keep in mind that not everyone will understand that, and some people will judge you for being a bit loco because you're into it or because you believe in it. But it's actually not that they see you as a loco necessarily. It's more that they see you as this very rational and logical person. And this is possibly someone, I feel like this is more gossip within your family, like family members who have known you since you were a child. They see you as this more rational-minded or logical-minded person, and that you've always been a bit like that, that you've always been a bit grounded and down to earth, believing only in what you saw and not believing in what other people tried to convince you of. Like you seem to have a very good compass within yourself to like distinguish between the bullshit. And like if you might have been the child who said very early on that of course Santa Claus doesn't exist. Like you might have said that when you were 3 and said like how would that even make sense? And some of your cousins or some of your aunts and uncles, they might have heard that, and so they have always seen you as that really, really rational child who you couldn't convince that child of anything. And so when you come out as a spiritual person, they tend to see that with disbelief. Like that's not right. That can't be right. That doesn't fit into the pattern. That's not how she used to be when she or he, I don't know your gender, but when you were a child. Like you were like that. You weren't like that. And so they don't understand why you believe in something that in their mind seems a very off or very strange or very unlikely to be real. And that's why they think maybe your personality has changed or something. For whatever reason, maybe that was the vaccine, or like I don't know what. Like these people are just talking about, like they're just contemplating about this, asking themselves like, what could it be that changed your whole personality? Is there something medical that changed it, like the vaccine, or maybe some medication that you're on, or I don't know, but I don't think your personality has changed. I just think you have maybe always just been really, really good at distinguishing between what you believed in and what you felt like was your like it's a good it's not necessarily a sign that you're completely closed off just because you didn't believe in Santa Claus. It's just that you were already from a very early age like aware that there are certain things that you don't believe in and there are certain things that you do believe in, and that's also a very good gift to have, to be selective in what you believe in. And so you might believe in animal totems or in spirit animals, but you might not believe in karma or in all the Hindu gods, or in like, so maybe there's something where you have selected what you see, what beliefs are right for you and what beliefs are not right for you. And so even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else, it doesn't have to. Like it only has to make sense to you. And so yeah. And whatever this relationship was, that you know the truth, and don't let anyone try to manipulate you into believing that it was either worse than it was, or that it was not as bad as you remember it to be. Like, know your truth, hold on to your experience, and don't let anyone try to change your experience of it. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll watch my next video as well. And yeah, have a good day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Hermetic Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2, what's the gossip about group number 2? What's the gossip about group number 2? Okay, so there is some kind of there is some gossip about you pretending to be something you're not. That you're a pretender. Something it seems to be more recent. It seems like you recently might have chosen a career or something, and some people are saying that you're just pretending, or that it's not the right thing for you, and that you're not it's also like it's just a lot of like I did hear the word con artist, and I hate to say that because that's a horrible word, but there might be someone in your near environment, maybe a sibling of yours, or someone who's kind of saying that they believe that you're a con artist, that you're maybe it's how you're making money. Like maybe this person disapproves of the whole profession that you're in. Maybe you're in a certain line of work, like maybe a spiritual line of work, like maybe you're a psychic or a clairvoyant. Maybe you are a tarot reader, or an angel card reader, or an aura reader, or a Reiki healer, or something. Maybe also something in terms of alternative medicine or something. Like maybe you just do something that's a bit like considered a bit I want to say cursed. I don't know why, but this person might see your line of work as something that's cursed. Like you shouldn't go into that kind of line of work because it's cursed. It's not like if you're a psychic, it's not like this person or the I feel like it's one person. I don't know who this is, but it's not that they don't believe that you have the gift. It's more that they believe that you shouldn't use it because using it could be that using it is wrong. It's wrong to use it. or something. I don't know, it's a bit complex here. Because it's also with the pretending in the beginning, it doesn't really make sense, because one, like, this person, I don't know if it's more than one person, because I feel like some people might see you as a bit of con artist, and then they obviously don't believe that you have the gift. But it's not. But the message is more that it's not personally direct. It's not directed to you personally. It's not an insult towards you as a person or to your abilities or anything like that. It's more to the whole field or the whole line of work. That, like, this person is not really attacking you as a person, but the line of work that you're in. This person could be a bit religious or very traditional, conservative, a fundamentalist within the religion that they are in, or Seven of Cups, Lord of illusionary success. So I would be quite surprised if you weren't, if the majority of you weren't actually in the same line of work as me, like doing tarot readings or being a psychic or clairvoyant or something like that, or a healer, because I feel like someone is saying that you have success with what you do, obviously, but it's an illusionary success, because you're gaining success from doing something that is an illusion. You're creating an illusion, and with illusions, they don't last. Like, illusions will always fade away. So people will always realize that the at some point that the illusion is not real, or they just feel like maybe your line of work is not sustainable, because it's not gonna last forever, because at some point people are gonna turn their back on it, not on you. Like, it's not, again, it's not necessarily directed at you as a single person, like as one person in this. It's more that the whole line of work is not sustainable. It's not gonna last. So there's some kind of gossip about that, about how you're. This could actually also, like, if it's not about something to do with the spiritual community, which I believe is the truth for the majority of you, but if this isn't about that, then it could be that you're in a line of work that someone in your family or a friend of yours or someone near you, this person doesn't see your line of work as sustainable, something that will last. Like, it's an illusion, and it's not something that you can make money out of in the future, because they feel like it's maybe going to go away. Like, I don't know what kind of field you're in, but maybe you're in some kind of field where you can be replaced by science or technical science, like where you, or like robots, like this person could be a bit from a different generation, the generation where everybody believes that every line of work would be like every worker would be replaced by a robot, and I don't think that's true, but this person might feel like the work that you do can be replaced by a robot. if you're not that, but that's only if you're not in the spiritual community, because of course if you have a job in the spiritual community, it would be kind of hard to be replaced by artificial intelligence. But well, you never know. Like we might, like like maybe a robot can actually predict the world, the future more accurately. But it's very, and then that is true. Like in most cases, a robot would be able to do that. But yeah, we could be, of course. Psychics could be replaced by robots. Why not? Why shouldn't we be able to be? Why shouldn't that happen? But yeah, death reversed. So I feel like there is someone. This person could be a Scorpio. Someone's there could be a Scorpio in your life who's a bit like, this person could be like a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Like this person might believe in all of the conspiracy theories, like everybody else. Like there could be something about even that, like lizard people, like, and it could still be the older person. Like this could be a grandfather of yours, or an uncle, or someone who's a bit like, oh, you shouldn't be in this line of work because you're going to be replaced by a robot, and in the future we're all going to be like slaves to the lizard people, and like I don't know. But yeah, there could be someone who's like, I actually don't like, and that's also the feeling I got in the beginning. Like all of this sounds really bad. Like this person is talking shit, but they are actually not. It's just that, like, this is just the way they talk. Like nothing. Like everything is a scam. Everything is a hoax. Oh, you're gonna be replaced by whatever. The future's gonna be crap. Everything's gonna go to shit. We're gonna end up on Mars. Everything or whatever. I don't know. And Mars. Like that. Why would we end up on? But I don't know. Like, but yeah, there could be, like, this person just likes to talk. Like it's not only you. Like this person says that about everyone. Like it's, so don't take it personally. Like it's not like they have a problem with your line of work, but they also have a problem with your sister's line of work, or your aunt's line of work, or your mother's line of work. Like there's like, oh yeah, nursing. Oh, that's just like, we can replace that with robots. Like doctors. Robots would be better doctors. And like whatever, like everything can just like, and that everything is like, doctors are also like, the whole medical industry is a scam. So why would you want, like, maybe there's a medical worker in your in your family, someone who's working as a doctor or a nurse, and maybe this person is also giving that person shit about how their line of work is like a total scam, that all doctors and all nurses are just killing people. Like they're just killing people with medication, and that everything is just, nothing is real. No medications, nothing, none of this is real. Everything is a hoax, and this person was also very, very likely a big supporter of Donald Trump. Not that I have any opinion on that matter, but just a side note. So yeah, but this person, like, they see everything as like, no, everybody's a con artist. So don't feel bad about this person calling you a con artist. everybody's a con artist in this person's opinion. A doctor is a con artist, a nurse is a con artist, a teacher is a con artist, because the whole educational system is a hoax as well. And there's nothing is real in this person's opinion. And so this person could be like slightly schizophrenic, but not that I want to put any diagnosis on this person. Like, it could be a bit paranoid. Like, I have a paranoid, some paranoia. That could be maybe a bit like overly like, this person could be overly paranoid, but also, like, I think this person is actually a fun person to talk to. So, like, I kind of feel like you feel the same way, like you actually enjoy talking to this person. So it's not like, I think some of you might not even be that mad at this person for calling you a con artist, because it's kind of like this, you kind of like this person, I feel like. Like, you don't agree with anything they say, but it's kind of fun to hear his opinions about everything, because they are kind of, all of his opinions are kind of a bit Looney Tunes, like. But 10 of Swords, so I think there might be some talk about how you, I don't think it's this guy, like, anymore, but it could be, or this person. Like, this is more of someone else. There is someone who's, well, it's not really gossip, but some people in your life might be a bit concerned, concerned about your well-being. That you're not taking care of yourself, or that you're not protecting yourself. Maybe this is the same guy. But I don't think so. Like, but someone is like a bit concerned that you're not protecting yourself. Maybe against the like, if you're in a line of work that's like has to do with spirituality or something like that, then maybe someone in your family feels like you need to protect yourself, because it's like this person might have said that it's cursed. Like, you should protect your energy because you're in a line of work that's cursed, so you can be cursed too, or hexed by people. And it's like, if you're doing tarot readings, like, you could do a tarot reading for the wrong person and end up getting harassed by that person because you said in the reading that something that this person didn't want to hear. Like, that's a big, like, that's something that can very likely happen if you're in this line of work. And so that sort of energy, that the negative energy that will be poured towards you, can end up being like hex. You can be hexed by it or whatever. But so yeah, it's like, this person wants, like, there is someone in your around you who's, this is not really gossip, it's just that this person, it could be your one of your parents, or this person, or someone near you who feels like you need to protect your energy. This could also be a friend, or someone who's actually in the spiritual community with you and maybe knows you personally and feels like you might be putting yourself in a bad position by making yourself available to the wrong people, or I don't know. I'm also sensing that there are people who feels like your line of work, the career you've chosen is a bit too heavy. It's a bit too dark. Like you need to do something that's more fun and uplifting, and do something that that's gonna give you more joy and happiness. That you might be a bit too affected by your surroundings, also your environment. Maybe you are in a bit of a toxic environment right now. Maybe you live in a household with toxic people, and maybe you need to get out of that energy. Maybe some people in your life feel like you need to get out of that energy because you keep getting distracted by it. Like it distracts you. Maybe this is a friend. Maybe this is a friend you've been talking to for many years, and maybe lately this friend feels like all the conversations are about the people around you, like the people that you live with, or the people who you are surrounding yourself with, and you're only talking about them and the drama and the whatever they are causing. And I think this person just feels like you need to step out of that. Like, get your own apartment, get your own place, live your own life away from this environment. Try to find yourself alone. Go into a bit of hermit mode. Find yourself by trying to separate yourself from the thing that keeps that you keep identifying yourself with. Like this thing, like this environment, or whatever, this person that you're living with, or whatever. This is not you. It's not defining who you are. It shouldn't. Like, and so find out who you are by separating yourself from this thing that keeps haunting you and keeps stopping you from actually developing as a person. Maybe this person, like maybe there is someone also in your family who feels like you're a bit dependent on someone. Like you can't grow as an independent person unless you separate yourself from this person that you're dependent on. I don't know if maybe you live with roommates that are keeping you down, or maybe you still live at home with your parents and they keep you from moving forward, or something where I just feel like there are people around who are gossiping about how, not gossiping in a bad way, but just concerned that you're not really thriving as a person because of the environment that you're living in. This could also be your country. Like maybe you are living in another country than some of your family members, maybe, or maybe some of your friends, or like maybe you have separated yourself, or maybe your parents separated you from the rest of your family when you were very young or something, and so some of your family members are living in another country and they just feel like you need to get to where they live, or that you're separated from the rest of the family by living where you live. Or this can actually be another thing. It's kind of the same though, but like I just have to get all of the details. But this could also be that you actually live in the country that you were born in and that your parents were born in, but some of your family members have migrated to another country in the meantime, and so they are all living in Scandinavia or whatever, I don't know, and you're still living in this other country, and And so I think some people feel like you just need to come and live with the rest of the people who migrated, because that's where you belong. You don't belong with the people in your home country, your mother country. It's a bit weird, but maybe it makes sense to some of you. But with the Fortitude card, there could be something about how you are, like someone might be saying that you should find your inner strength, that maybe you're not really maybe you're kind of talking yourself down a bit. You might be a bit pessimistic, or you might be pessimistic about your own abilities. Like you might say that, oh, you can't do this and that and this and that because you're not skilled enough, or you're not capable of doing something because like of whatever. Like you might have a lot of excuses to why you're not thriving as a person, or why you're not using all your talents, and why you're not why you're not living your full potential or whatever. But I feel like some people in your life, they actually look up to you and see you as someone who's actually very talented and very strong, and that if you could just see how other people see you, then you would realize that there aren't any obstacles really. Like nothing is actually keeping you down. Nothing is actually keeping you from living your best life besides yourself. Like because you might keep saying to yourself that, oh, you can't have a normal job because you're not physically capable, or might have some illness that might be the reason why you can't, or you can't have a normal job or something. And so you keep saying that to the people around you, that you can't have a normal job, and so you have to do something like something in the spiritual community, something like this, like doing tarot or something, where you decide your hours, where you decide how much you can actually do, and where you can listen to your body and listen to your like and set your own boundaries for yourself, and so you have chosen maybe the line of work that you've chosen because you wanted the flexibility of it. Like you wanted to be able to choose your own hours. But I feel like some of the people around you are like gossiping about how you're not seeing how strong you actually are, and how capable you are to actually force your way through something. Like like maybe some people feel like you're losing yourself in self-pity or something, that you're wallowing in it or something, but I don't think that's the truth. I think some people might feel like you're complaining about your shortcomings when but it's mostly because like it's not coming from a hurtful or evil place. It's more that these people feel like you can do much more than you think you can, like that you just that you see yourself as weaker than you actually are. But I don't know, but and so they feel like you settle for a line of work that can give you this flexibility, instead of forcing yourself to do a normal job that they believe you actually have the capacity to actually do. But also, I feel like some people feel like you don't realize that you can actually find the same flexibility in a normal job as well, that you would be able to have a part-time job where you could, and maybe find a field where you actually have some kind of say in your own hours. And maybe some people feel like you haven't really done the research and found the right job for you, that you might have tried one or two jobs that didn't suit you because you were overworked and you were ruining your body and completely tiring yourself to the point where you had a lot of stress, and it took a toll on you or something like that. And so now you have chosen some kind of line of work where you have flexibility, but I feel like some people are just saying that you just didn't find the right job, that you shouldn't let these experiences form your whole future, that these could have just been bad experiences, and so you could actually find a job where you would be able to talk to your boss and say like that certain hours of the day are better than others, and that certain, like where you could actually have flexibility and a say in your schedule, and customize it to your your body, like how your body can, what your body can handle. So it's just that you shouldn't, like, I feel like some people feel like you just gave up on that, and that they feel like you should do more research about it, find out if there are more like if there are maybe even something that you can apply for, like a job that has more flexibility, something, or some kind of contract with, like, where you can have a different contract with a job where the government or someone compensates you for what you can't do, like I don't know if there's some kind of program or something like that that you can apply for in your country, but it just seems like there are people who feel like you need to research this more and actually find out what your what opportunities there actually are, what options there are for you in your particular situation, and so don't feel like you have to do some kind of line of work just because it's what you feel like you can do, opposed to something else that you actually rather would want to do but feel like you can't do because of your illness, or because your body can't handle it. There might be options so that you can actually do your dream job, and that you don't have to let go of your dream just because of some minor obstacles that can actually be discussed with a boss, I think, or with the government, or find something that you can apply for in the government. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading resonated, and I hope it helped in some way. But yeah, I still like people are not really gossiping about you, just so you know. Like, it's not real gossip. I feel like maybe that one person might have had some, like, but mostly people are just like concerned and actually want the best for you. They want you to achieve what you want to achieve, and like, so it's good. Like, it's actually, it's a positive reading. But yeah, so yeah. I hope you'll watch my next video as well, and I hope I hope you'll have a very nice day, and yeah, bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this Tarot de Marseille tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3. What's the gossip about group number 3? What's the gossip about group number 3? Okay, so this is a bit mean, so I'm very sorry, but I can relate. But some people are gossiping about your voice, that you have a bit of a loud or a bit weird voice, or that there's something about your voice, like maybe you have a very high-pitched voice, and some people are saying that that is a bit annoying, and I'm so sorry for you, because like I've got it the same thing myself. Like, people have said that to me, that my voice is weird and whatever. But so I feel your pain, and I wish I didn't have to deliver that message. But you asked, like, I'm sorry, but no, but like, but it's like, but that's, I feel like that's the only negative thing that people say about you. It's like, it's the only thing that people tend to have a negative opinion about. Like, it's, and maybe for some of you, like, this is a message that's coming through, and it's actually, okay, that's actually quite uplifting. So I'm hearing that the spirit wants to tell you that you have been granted this voice for a reason. So that okay, that it's so that you can separate the sheep from the herd, or how's that? But the quote, I don't. But it's so that, like, some people will be annoyed by your voice, and these people were always the kind of people that you were, like, this is like, you're supposed to push these people away. It's like, it's actually, your voice is kind of like a shield. It's a shield that keeps the right people there, and the wrong people out. It keeps the right people in, the wrong people out. That's amazing, actually. I'm happy for you, but also kind of happy for myself, because Like that's a nice way to think of it. Like, is that I feel like many people have no problem actually getting past that. Like, they hear your voice, maybe they think, like, right in the beginning, the first 5 minutes they talk to you, they might think, oh, her voice is a bit weird or strange or high pitched. But then they hear your words and they fall in love with your personality, and people, but some people don't get that gift. Like, some people are not, like, some people don't some people don't get to experience your great personality because they are they get too, like, the voice keeps them away, and so it's like, but I don't think, like, it's not that your voice is so, it's like, it might be a bit like, yeah, a bit, there might just be something a bit unusual about it, but I'm sorry that, but I know that even if you, even if this voice has a purpose, it's still kind of shitty to know that people kind of listen to your voice and thinks it's weird. Like, that's but I think, like, that your voice can do other things. I feel like your voice can, you can do other things with your voice as well, and so it's there is a power to your voice, and so don't feel bad about that, because it seems like there's also might be another purpose. I don't know if some of you are good singers, like, so you might be good at singing, but maybe your voice is not that like, maybe your voice was never, like, meant for singing or for talking. I mean, or maybe you're not a good singer, so maybe that was, but maybe it's just like, don't. I just feel like you shouldn't. Like, it's keeping the, like, it's, you might have already noticed this, that you are actually don't seem to be bothered by a lot of toxic people, and that's because the toxic people, they stay away from you because of your voice. It's kind of like a repellent towards toxic people, so that you don't have to deal with them in your life, and so if you have, like, a social media account, or if you do, like, something on YouTube or TikTok or something that has to, where you use your voice, I think that that's also, like, the people who are repelled by your voice, they do not get to share in the gift that you have. And I think the followers that you have, the loyal followers that you have, they are your loyal followers because they could see past it. They could, but yeah, that's and I don't think there's anything, like, wrong with your voice, like, but I feel like I don't really know why people don't, like, but I don't really know why people think my voice is weird either. Like, I don't know, like, but but some people do think that, and so some people just like I think just some people can't really like there are just people out there who can't see past like a small thing, like the smallest little thing that but it can also be because of like the spirit like keep also like it's like a two-way street really. You have this shield that is your voice, or but also some people are also just more sensitive to certain noises or certain voices because they have like because it's teamwork, I guess. The spirit works up people like I don't know, but some of you might have a really normal voice, and so maybe this has nothing to do with your voice, but maybe it's more like something that something about you that is a bit unusual, some kind of quirk that you have. Maybe it's an accent, or like you might have an accent that some people don't like because they don't like people who speak with an accent, or you might have some small speak impediment or something that speech impediment. I mean, where you might say certain words differently than or say the wrong words sometimes, or something, or you might I don't know, but or a bit of stutter or something. But it's so small and insignificant that like I don't feel like you should actually be like you shouldn't think about this, because the only thing it does is it keeps the right people in and the wrong people out, and it's not really a big deal, and for most people it's not a big deal, and that's why they actually like you and enjoy listening to you, even if you have a bit of a stutter or a voice that's a bit strange to some people. But with a nine of Pentacles reversed, I think people might gossip about how you're a bit, maybe that you this is kind of mean, but maybe people gossip about how you get too caught up with what other people think about you. Like you get, and so now I've just added one more thing for you to have insecurities about, and I'm very sorry, like if you didn't actually even realize that about, like I don't know, but maybe some people feel like you get too fixated on what other people think about you, or what other people are saying about you, or that other people don't like you. Like if someone says that they don't like you, you can't just leave that alone. You need to find out why. You need to find out what, and maybe you get a bit caught up in trying to please everyone and trying to be liked by everyone, when the people that are close to you, the people that love you and adore you for just being yourself and being the great person that you are, they feel like, why do you have to be liked by everyone? Why do you have, like, they feel like it's just their loss, like that you should have more confidence in yourself and be more independent in your own character, or more secure in your own character, and just being able to close them out and say like, okay, if you don't like me, then I don't like you either. Like, why would I want you to like me if like that? So I think maybe you are a bit fixated on trying to get everyone to like you, or to please everyone, or if people get mad at you, you want to fix it as soon as possible. Even if people get mad at you for something that's actually their fault and they should apologize to you, you might have a tendency to apologize first, just because you really don't want them to be mad at you, because you want them to like you, and you feel like if you apologize, then they will like you, and then you will have accomplished what you wanted. And I feel like people are gossiping about how you should be more stubborn in yourself, or in your own, like, be more self-reliant, or be more, like, think more of yourself as a, like that you should remember how great you are, and that you're a gift to the world. And so some people will return that gift, and they will be like that. That's on them for not seeing what great gift they actually received. Like that's people just feel like you should shame them. Like, you shouldn't feel ashamed that people don't like you. They should be the ones ashamed that they don't like you, because it's technically their problem. It's not your problem that people don't like you. It's their problem. It's their lack of tolerance. It's their issue, or with like one tiny thing about you that, or something that they like, that they get caught up in, and it's their, like, they are the ones that have some kind of manufacturing error, because in a perfect world we should all be able to like everyone, and see past small differences, and be tolerant to everyone, and not hate someone just because of their voice, or like, do you get what I mean? Like, it's people don't see how their own intolerance is basically their own, like, that's something that's wrong with them. And so and like, people get, like, there is such a weird thing going on in like, I've heard this so many times from people that say like oh, like, you can't like everyone, like, and it's okay that you don't like someone, like, you shouldn't feel forced to like someone if you don't like them or something. No, you should be able to like everyone, even the person who's the most different from yourself, or who's so far away from what you are that, like, that you can't really resonate with them. Even if that's the case, like, you should still be able to like them for what they are, even if it's different from what you are. And like, it's like, there's no such thing as not liking someone. It's just that you don't understand someone. You can have a lack of understanding for another person because you haven't asked them who they are, what they are, and why they are the way they are, and haven't really tried to get that sort of understanding to, like, okay, because if we just put the effort in, then we can actually start understanding even the person that we thought we were never gonna understand, because that person was so different from us. Like we can get there, and if we can just like a person for what they are, and I don't know, like I don't understand this. Why it, it's a losing game. Like you don't want to be a part of this pattern, because the pattern's gonna bite you in the ass. Like if we keep preaching this intolerance towards other people, if we keep that going, that oh, it's okay to not like someone, then like people are not gonna like you either, and that's also something that you will have to deal with, if that it's gonna bite you in the butt, and you will find someone that you like, but they will then be able to say, I don't like you, so like, but and that's not how things should be. Like why I feel like it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. um but yeah, whatever. But with the world here reversed, I think people feel like maybe, like I think there's some gossip about how you're a bit like upside down, and it's actually a positive thing. I think people see you as someone who's like you can like when people actually get to know you, they realize you're actually a very fascinating person, because you're capable of doing something that very few people can do successfully, and that is that you can flip everything upside down. Like everything, like if someone says something to you, like you can flip it and make them see it from a completely different perspective, that they had never thought about before. And so and I think you can do that. Like you can flip things around. You can also like change people's outlook on something. Like you can completely maybe also like blow people's mind. Like say you sometimes you say something and you can do it in such a way where like it seems as if it's just easy for you. It's like talking about the weather. Like you talk, but then you talk about something that's really profound, like something that people have been trying to solve, like some kind of mystery that everybody has been trying to solve for centuries, and then you just solve it, like almost like where you just say something like, well, and people are like, wow, okay, they never thought about it that way. That's just crazy that you were able to flip it around and make it seem so obvious all of a sudden what it actually was, what the answer actually was. You also might have a way to take something very complex, and simplify it to the point where it's easy to digest for people. Like people can easily digest it. But this also might be something that like you're so brilliant at doing this, that some people, like especially from the outside who doesn't know you, they might see you doing this, or that might be the first thing they hear you say. Like is like you take something complex and make it simple, and then like they don't realize how skillful you are at actually doing this, that they might actually judge you for oversimplifying something that's very complicated, in the way that they might even think you're a bit stupid for looking at it in this way. But most people do understand that you're actually doing something very, very hard. Like you're doing something that requires a lot of skill. It requires a lot of skill to be able to simplify something that's very, very complicated. So and I think people people see you as the type of person who is not necessarily going to like go out and just like take the world by storm, because it's not really your personality, or it's not who you are. People see you as very mellow, or very like that you're not a bragging type of person. You're not the type of person who with sharp elbows. Like you don't push people away, like to the side, so that you can come step forward in life. Like you're not the person to steal the spotlight from someone else. Like you're the type of person who works in the background. Like you're behind the scenes, and so people don't see you as like the type of person who would get like internationally famous, but they see you as the type of person who could potentially do it indirectly by either writing a book under another name, or like with a pseudonym, or someone who like you're, or maybe people also like people see you as someone who could become like a brilliant teacher, like because you have that gift of making other people shine, and you're really good at, of course, also good at simplifying very complicated things. And so that's a skill that a teacher should have. And so I think some people have talked about how you should be a teacher. Maybe people in your family have discussed this because you're so good at explaining things, or also like using metaphors so that people can understand what you mean. Like you might be really skilled at doing that, like finding a metaphor so that what you want to describe is easier to digest to people. And I think that is something that people have picked up on, and they think like you would be really good at teaching because you can find a good metaphor that will make people learn better, or you can and maybe also a writer. Like maybe this is also why you could be a very good writer, and I think people have also talked about that. But I'm also just sensing that people have like you have a way of, like people have said that you have a way of building people up and making people feel very good about themselves. Like you have a way of, like maybe you're really good at complimenting others and finding the greatness in others, like figuring out what makes other people special, and then like trying to enhance it to the point where like it can shine. And it's also like a part of your humbleness. Like you're very humble. You don't want to be the one shining, but you want to push someone else and make someone else shine. Like you're the type of person, like you could have a great voice, but you want to be the one singing, and then like someone else is lip syncing to to your voice or whatever. Like so yeah, but people just feel like you have like, maybe people also feel like you're really good at seeing things from different perspectives. Like you can, and that's also why people feel like you could be a good teacher, is because you seem to be able to understand what people are going through, even if you're like, even if it's very far away from your experience. Like you can still, you have a lot of empathy. Like you can picture yourself in other people's shoes. Like you can feel how other people are feeling in a way, or you can share in with other people in their experience, and like and relate to them on a deeper level or something. With a page of wands reversed, I think people see you as a like, you might lack a bit motivation sometimes. Like you're not really the type of person who is just going to throw yourself at any just about anything. Like you might have a bit like it might be hard for you to get things done, or like if people call you and say, oh, let's travel somewhere or something, then you might say yeah, but then like you might, it might be hard for you to actually get there. Like you have to like drive the car or whatever at what, but you kind of postpone it until last minute, and then you get that then you're late, and like maybe you even postpone it for a few days. Like you know that you're supposed to go somewhere, but you're not really going. Like if there's some kind of family reunion, like I feel like this might have been like some kind of family reunion that you were supposed to go to, or and like it was like a week or something. Like it was supposed to be like a week, or maybe it was like this Easter or something, like where you were supposed to be with your family for the whole week, but then like you were supposed to go on Sunday, but then like Sunday you didn't really feel like it, then you didn't really feel like it on Monday either, and then like Tuesday something came up, and then Wednesday like you still had like, and then maybe you ended up actually getting there on Thursday, and like, and your whole family was like, oh, why, like you're so like late, like but then like when you're there, you actually like being there, and like you, and then when you have to leave home again, you don't want to leave. Like you feel like, oh, you just got there, you actually want, you wish you had been there the whole week, and you wish like that it could last forever. So it's kind of the thing where you can't really seem to find the motivation to go to things, even though you deep down you know that when you actually get there you're gonna really enjoy it, but it's like getting to from A to B. That's kind of the problem. It's getting out of the house, getting ready, getting packed, and like that seems to be what keeps you away. And so I think the family has talked about that, like gossiped about how you're always late, and then like when you're actually there you don't want to go, and like maybe you also have been to dinner parties with your family members and you got there at 8, and then like they at 10 they were like, oh, get the fuck out, we need to go to bed, so you can't like just stay forever. And then you might have actually been offended because you felt like, well, it was such a very good time for you, and you were just reconnecting and bonding, and like felt like, oh, why did it have to be so short? But maybe if you had been there a bit earlier, then maybe it wouldn't have been so short. But I feel like people have like talked about how it's kind of hard to make you leave when you come. Like it's hard to get you out of the house. I know it sounds bad, but it's more like they are. It's because it's not not that part that they gossip about in a negative way. It's more that they feel like if you just came a bit earlier, then it wouldn't be a problem. But you seem to always come late, and so that's kind of the issue they feel like. But with the Three of Cups, I think there is some gossip about, well, there could be a small rumor going on. It's a very small rumor, I think. It's why the card is the last card. It's a very small one, but maybe someone is kind of talking about how you might be drinking a bit too much. But or that you have a drinking problem. I don't think you have, and I don't think, like, most people around you, they don't think that. It's just some kind of small rumor. Maybe someone has only seen you at parties, and so they just assume that that's how you always are, even though, of course, it's not. Like, you have an everyday life as well. That's a lot more boring and not a lot different. But maybe some people have only seen you in that setting, and so they just assume. I don't know. So yeah, but I think that is all I have for you. Group number 3, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll watch my next video as well, and I hope you'll have a very, very great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4. Group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4. What's the gossip about group number 4? What's the gossip about the people who will choose group number 4? Okay, so there's something about a game, like I don't know if this is an actual game that you're playing, or that you play as a hobby. Like I don't know if you're a gamer or if your boyfriend or is a gamer, or I don't know, but like it's something about gaming, or if it's not about gaming, it's about how you're playing a game. But I'm sensing that it has more to do with you, with gaming, like I don't know, but you might be playing some kind of strategy game or something online, and I feel like there might be some gossip about that, about how you're it feels like it's a bit negative, or that people are saying that either that you're just doing this because of someone else. Like if you're in a relationship with someone who's also playing that game, people might be gossiping that that you're playing it just to mimic someone else, or just to kind of steal someone else's thing, which is kind of like maybe for some of you, either this is a partner of yours or a sibling. It could also have been and this could actually be the gossip coming from that person. I don't want to expose them, but I think if you're playing the same video game that as they are, or as they used to whatever or something, then they might be saying to others that you're just copying them, or that the only reason why you're doing that is because that you're stealing their thing, that you couldn't come up with anything original, so you just stole their whole personality and kind of did it better than them. And that's the thing. I feel like there's a jealousy here, because I feel like I know that this doesn't resonate with all of you. I get it, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. But I feel like this, if you're a gamer, or and playing some kind of game that your boyfriend or your sibling or girlfriend plays, you might just play it a bit better. You might be a bit better at it, even though they might have been playing it for years, and then you come in and you're actually a bit better at it. And so of course this person doesn't want to admit that, so they when they talk about it to others, they say that, oh, you're just copying them, you're just stealing their thing. And maybe also even they might also be saying that the only reason why you're so good at it is because they've taught you all the tricks, and so you wouldn't have gotten so far so quickly if it wasn't because you got their guidance. And I think it's more like they don't want to lose face, they don't want to I don't know. But if this has nothing to do with gaming, then I think it could have it could be something else as well. Just scratch out the gaming part and put whatever else it could be. It could just be something that a hobby that either your significant other or your sibling used to have or still has, and then you got interested in that hobby as well, and you're just a bit better at it, and that is something this person just can't really they can't take that, and so they kind of talk you down to others, or say that you're just copying them, which is a bit juvenile. It's so rare. People don't talk about things in this way anymore. When you grow out of that, oh, it's you stole my thing, oh, that was my hobby, now you stole it, or oh, that was my band, that I was into that band, that music band, oh, I was the one who was a fan of Fall Out Boy or whatever, and now, oh yeah, you're into it too, oh yeah, but that was my thing, that was my, I was the one with the emo face, not you, or whatever. But I don't know, but also you can't, oh, I wore that top, so now you can't wear that top yourself because I was the one who found it in the store that everybody goes to, but now it's my thing, and you're copying my outfit, even though it's like that sort of energy. I'm getting that sort of energy from this whole reading, and it's kind of juvenile. And I don't really understand it unless it's a sibling of yours who's just a very like young sibling or something. So it might be age appropriate for them, but why would they, like, you're still an adult, so why would they feel that way about you unless some of you might, like, this is very specific for one of you maybe, but maybe you're a mother or to a child who's a teenager, which is very unlikely because that's not really the average type, my demographic, but it could be that you started playing the same game as your teenage son or something, and that's something that they don't like it. They don't like that you shouldn't steal their thing or something. I don't know, but I'm just sensing that, like, there's something about stealing someone else's thing, and I don't know. Like, maybe also, like, if some of you are into the spiritual community, you might have a psychic in the family, and so this person might have come before you. Like, they came before you. They started being a psychic before you did because they are older than you, maybe. And so now, if you're saying that you have psychic abilities too, they might feel like, oh, you're not supposed to have that because that's my thing. You're stealing my thunder here. But this could also be like if you're into, like, writing and there's a writer in the family, they might feel a bit like now they have some, like, if you're starting to write something, then they might feel like you're a competitor, and so they have to try to make you not write whatever you want to write, because then they have to compete against you and they don't want to, or something. It's very, very strange. But so there might be someone who's actually trying to sabotage something for you in some way by trying to make you not proceed with a project of yours, some recent project, maybe writing or gaming, or having a gaming channel on the Twitch or whatever, and doing gaming in front of other people or something. Maybe they feel like you shouldn't be doing that because that's something they started doing for a while back and they haven't been successful with it, and so they see you as a competitor and they don't want you to do it because they know that if you did it, you'd be successful with it quite quickly on, and it would make them seem like a failure in comparison, and they don't want the comparison. They would rather live without the comparison, and so they might say to you, oh, Twitch is a bad idea. They wouldn't recommend that to you, that kind of thing, because it's not. And maybe they have even said to you that it's not for you. That's not for you. But really it's just that they feel like you would be actually really good at it. And that scares them for some reason. But I don't know. With the Knight of Wands, I think there might be a person in your family who's a bit of, like, and it could be this person who, or this person who feels like you're a competitor, or maybe a sibling. And this sibling could have a bit of ADHD or something, and so that might be why they haven't really gained that much success with whatever they are doing, because they might lack the focus and the concentration, and maybe they even, like, maybe if this person is a gamer, this person could even suck a bit at gaming because of the ADHD, because they can't really focus. And so if they have been playing a game for a long time and then you come around and you start playing it too, and you're good at it, but the only reason why you're better at it than this person is because you can concentrate and this person can't. So it's kind of a losing game for this person, or loses game. Or so there might also be something about losing weight. So maybe I don't know if this is maybe specific for one of you, but I feel like maybe you and your you might have a sibling, and that sibling might have always been chubby as a child, and you might have also been a bit chubby as a child. So you were both a bit chubby, and you both kind of had a hard time losing weight. And then maybe you have been successful with losing weight recently. And I think this person might feel like that's a problem, because and I kind of understand where this person is coming from. Even though, of course, it's not a problem. This person, like, even if it's like, especially if it's a sibling, then of course this person should just be happy for you that you've been able to achieve this, and be proud of you for doing that. But this person might have felt like because you both had weight issues your whole life, like when you were children, that it was very obvious that it was genetic. It was a genetic thing, because you both had it, and you both had the same issue. So when you then actually succeed at losing weight later on in life as an adult, then that breaks this, like then the whole concept of it being genetic kind of crumbles and falls apart, and then they feel like there's a new kind of weight on their shoulder, because now they actually are being compared to you, and so maybe other family members or other people are saying to them that they can that they can lose weight like you did, and so that is so easy because you did it, and so why wouldn't they be able to do it as well? And so I think they feel like because you lost weight that's affecting them negatively, because people are expecting them to do the same, or to be able to do the same, or have no problems doing the same. So I think that they feel like you kind of, in a way, you took away the thing that was their thing, or that was your thing together, was that you couldn't, like, that you were chubby as a child, and you both were because of genetics, and so that thing is just not there anymore, and so you can't also this person might feel like they can't really bond with you anymore because you don't have that in common anymore. And I don't know. With a death card, I feel like there might be something here about, like, there might be some gossip about how you are. If you lost weight, there might be something about how you're too skinny now because there's a skeleton here. But so that like you can never really win, like ever. Like you can like if you're like you if you lose weight, you'll always get that one. Like too skinny now. Like so but I'm also sensing that people might feel like you have successfully broken a cycle in your life that was a bit toxic, and it could have been a family cycle or a family sort of family karma, something that has been running through your family, some kind of problem that has kept going, maybe in terms of weight, maybe many people have struggled with weight in your family, and so that's a family issue that has just been passed on through generations upon generations. But and that you have been able to get out of that cycle, or this could also have something to do with you being able to successfully like maybe ADHD is something that actually runs in your family. So maybe your parents kind of had it, and your sibling kind of has it, and maybe you had it too when you were younger, and maybe you're medicated now, and maybe that's also why you lost weight. I don't know, but of course it only resonates with a few of you, but I'm gonna say it anyways. But yeah, so I feel like there might be something where you have and maybe your family kind of looks a bit they look down on you, but it's really not that they are looking down. They're kind of looking up, but they are flipping it around a bit because they are kind of protecting themselves. And so like they know that maybe you're actually thriving in life because you were able to do something that they should be doing or whatever, but they haven't done that, and so you're doing it, and so they see you as that you've overcome something that has been an issue for many other family members, but they haven't overcome it themselves. So you're kind of the odd man out in a way, or the person who breaks a pattern. Like maybe you have broken some kind of pattern. Also, maybe this has to do with like education. Maybe many people in your family haven't actually been able to get an education, but you have been able to succeed at that, and so the other family members are proud of you, but also a bit feel like, especially your siblings, like they might feel like, yeah, that's great that you were able to do that, but now we have this pressure on us to do the same, and we would rather be without that pressure. Like it would have been better if you didn't go to the university, because then they wouldn't feel like they had to do that as well, like that there was some kind of pressure, because they would constantly be compared with you. And maybe there is an issue here, especially if you have other siblings, that your siblings have always felt like they were compared to you, that your parents compared them to you, and that you were always good at everything and you could do everything, and that you were better at everything than they were, and that was kind of annoying to them. And so like if you have started playing a video game that your sibling has been playing for a long time, and then you are actually better at it than them, they might feel like, oh, that's just typical. Again, she can do something better, or she or he can do something better than I can. Like even at the one thing that's my thing, gaming. Like why would she have to go on my territory and actually succeed and be better at it than me? So, but yeah, that's kind of like, of course, this is not really about gossip. Like it's not really gossip. It's more like, I don't know, but I feel like it's something like people are just talking about this, I think. But I'm also sensing that some of this is like, I feel like some of this is like, some people here, like they might actually keep this opinion a bit hidden from you. Like they don't want to, like, especially if it's a sibling, they don't actually want, like, I don't think they are actually talking about this. Like they are kind of keeping it inside themselves. Like it's a frustration that keeps building up. But they might be writing about it. So just for some of you, like if your sibling is a writer, just beware that there could come a book or whatever. Like if they ever publish a book, you might be surprised or not surprised, I don't know, that maybe a character in that book is kind of based on you. But I don't know. But they could also just be writing about this online, like to other people online, that they are kind of frustrated or whatever. But I'm just not feeling that it's something they talk about like to someone face to face. But I don't know. So Queen of Pentacles. So I think there are people who just see you as someone who's, well, good at everything. Like everything you touch turn to gold. And there is also like one, maybe your one person, maybe your mother or someone in your family, maybe a grandmother. Like there might be someone in your family who can't see anything wrong with you ever. Like anything you do is perfect in their eyes. Like there's someone, and the rest of the family is kind of annoyed with you because of this one person, because they feel like this person glorifies everything you do, and so they kind of want to rebel against that, and so they try to look for flaws in you because they want to prove this person wrong, because they feel like this person is over exaggerating and glorifying you in a way that they feel like, and where they feel a bit left out, because it's you who gets all the glory. And maybe this is actually like some aunts and uncles who feel like your grandmother is always idolizing you and forgetting about all of the other grandchildren, how great they are as well. But with the Page of Cups, there is something about, people tend to see that there's something fishy about you, that there's something about you that people can't, but I think it has more to do with the fact that people feel like you're very perfect. You rarely make mistakes. You're rarely wrong about what you say. You rarely say the wrong thing, and you rarely have the wrong opinion, and you rarely offend anyone, and you have a way of always doing the right thing and saying the right thing, but there's and people tend, when people see someone who's that perfect, they tend to want to find a flaw. Like there must be something that this person does that is not perfect, and so they see that there's something fishy about you. Must be something that you're not saying, or something that you're doing in the dark, and they kind of want to figure out what it is. And so there might also be some people maybe in your family who have started a rumor about you being a bit that maybe you're homosexual, or but it's more like they want to find something on you, like something that would, like a small crack in the perfect like in the perfect foundation, that, or well, in the perfect picture, but that maybe it's because like maybe you have something like maybe you're gay, or maybe some people have even talked about how you might have a drinking problem or something, but it's mostly the gay part, or like but people just want to find that one thing, like they are looking for that one thing that makes you not perfect. Because they see you as someone who's they might feel like this is a bit of a facade, like you're acting perfect, that you're trying really hard to be perfect all the time, that you're calculated in a way, and that it must be because you're trying to hide something. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope you'll watch my next video as well. And yeah, have a good day, and bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose this Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 5. So, group number 5. The people who will choose group number 5. What's the gossip about group number 5? Okay, so okay, people find you very funny, like, and people see you as a very funny person, like, you're a bit like, people tend to describe you as quite talkative and extroverted, and but people see you as a bit of two-sided, like you have a double side to you, like like you have this side of you where you're very extroverted and very funny and very charming and charismatic, but then sometimes you might withdraw a bit and become very silent, and quiet, and so it's kind of a double thing where you have both sides to you. So yeah, people might have some people might have talked about how, but this is only for a few of you, but I feel like some of you, like some family members, or some I think it's more within the family, someone might have said that you might be bipolar, because sometimes you're like really like upbeat and talkative and loud, and then sometimes you get really silent and maybe even a bit depressed, and a bit calm, and maybe calm in not in a good way, but like calm in a way where people feel like they need to push you to actually do things, and then sometimes, like other times, you're like the one who's pushing others to do things. So like you get to be both on both sides. Like you're the one being pushed and the one pushing others. And so you might be like a mix of extrovert and introvert. And of course, people who don't really understand that you can actually have that without actually having like a mental illness, they will of course see that as an indicator that you might have bipolar disorder. But I think it's just like the waves, the tides. Like why? Like are we like what? So like the tides. I mean, like the tides, like they go up and they go down, and like are the tides? Are they bipolar too? Like what about the temperature? The temperature, it goes up and it goes down. Is the temperature like is that bipolar too? Like where why sometimes there are ups and sometimes there are downs. Like that is how how life is one of the main rules of life is things change. Like things are sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down, and I think I think you kind of you get sometimes you're just more happy and upbeat, and sometimes you're just a bit more down and a bit like tired of life. And maybe it's also like not like sometimes we can also just get tired after being upbeat for a while. Like if we're upbeat in 3 months and we are like out there doing stuff like every day, and then of course naturally there will come a period of time right after that where you need to rest and get your strength back, and so that you can get to another cycle of being upbeat and fun. Like you can't be upbeat and fun all the time, and you can't be down and depressed all the time. And it's like you kind of have to have both. Like it's not so like I don't know. I feel like but yeah, I feel like some people might be talking shit about this. Some people are gossiping about that you might be bipolar, but maybe like, but I'm also sensing that there's a bit of there's one person giving you a bit of an insult here behind your back, and it's like people tend to you're very likable. You're a very likable person, and people know that. Like people see you as a very charming and charismatic person. Even when you're down, you still have your charisma. So you're still very mesmerizing to people. But like there is one person, I don't know who this could be, like someone in your life who's saying that you're very charming for someone who's like in what like it's just I'm sensing that there's a but here, like you're very funny, but you're very charming, but and I think it has to do with maybe where you come from, or like if this is a family member, then that family member might hate one of your parents or something, and so she might say, oh yeah, she's funny, but she's the daughter of that woman, and so you have to be careful. Like you don't. Or that you come, like, this could also be like where you come from. Like you might come from a country where there's a bit of a stigma on the like people tend to judge people who come from that place or something, and so people say like, oh yeah, she's really amazing and funny and charming, but she's from that place, and so there might be a reason why or like there could also be something about your like you might go to parties, or you might, maybe that's something you used to do a lot when you were younger, and people might have said that, oh yeah, but that's because of where you come from, or because your parents or one of your parents were like a very a party girl, or in a bad sense or in a bad way. I don't it just feels like it's a bit negative, like they are judging you for something that has nothing to do with you directly, but it's where you come from, or who birthed you, or who someone in your bloodline who was a bit of a skank or something. Their word, no, but not mine. But like, and so they see you as a bit loose or whatever, because, or that you might be because of that person. I don't know. But it could also be the bipolar thing. Like maybe they see you as bipolar because of a family member who was bipolar, and so you have that same disease as that person. Like, and they might call it a disease. Like, but yeah, so it's but mostly it's kind of weird, because mostly people just like people like you, like you're very likable, and so the gossip is not really that negative, but it's just that people are maybe also a bit jealous. Like you have a way of winning people over. Like you can win everyone over, and like just within a few minutes you win people over, and some people might feel like they have had to win the same people over for years in order to gain their trust, but you just gain people's trust in an instant, and that kind of bothers some people, or it's kind of bothering a few people, but and they use the word, like I feel like someone has used the word mesmerize, that you mesmerize, and I think that word is used in a negative way, that you have a way to spellbind people, that you have a way, like you're not just charismatic in a like you're mesmerizing, like you are doing something to gain people's trust that might where some people might even see it as a bit supernatural, like that you are doing something magical to, or in a way to win people over. But I feel like it's mostly like people who don't have that gift there are some people around you that just don't have that gift. Like the doors in the supermarket don't even open for them because they have absolutely no charisma. Nothing shines out of them. Like no, they don't have like they might just not have that ability to shine as a person, and so they see you shining as a person, shining your light at people's, showing people who you are, and making people fall in love with you, but they can't do that naturally because they don't have the gift to do that, and so they contemplate about this, and they assume they must be because you are doing magic on them, because that's the only way that it makes sense to them, that you can, that someone can do that so skillfully as you can, because they don't really want to own up to the fact that maybe you're just a very gifted person in that sense. And it's maybe because, like, if you were that gifted, the gift should have come from someone, and it's very likely a gift that you have inherited from a parent, and maybe that parent is someone that this person, if it's a family member, might have a very strong opinion about in a negative sense, and so they don't believe that you can have acquired this gift naturally. I don't know. But with a Four of Pentacles, I think people might be saying that you are a bit there might be some gossip that you're a bit cheap. That you might forget your wallet sometimes on purpose or something like that. It's a small rumor that's going on. I don't think there's any truth to it, but it's something people like to say, that, oh, yeah, she always forgets her wallet when the check comes, and like I don't know, it's a bit negative. I don't like that, but yeah, people see you as someone who's maybe sitting a bit on your money, or that you're kind of maybe you're trying to save money for something, and so you're kind of doing it by maybe not paying for things, like letting other people pay for things, but it's, or maybe it's just rumors that's going on. With the Page of Pentacles reversed, I think there might be something about like people might be gossiping that you are not well, it's actually a bit the same message, because you can see how this person is holding on to a coin, but if you actually look close to it, you can see that the coin is actually not in his hands, his or her hand. Like it's kind of in the fingertips, so like but it's reversed. So I feel like maybe people feel like you are actually holding on to your money, like not just at the fingertips, but you, like with your whole palm of the whole palm of your hands. Like you're really, you're very hesitant when it comes to spending money on something. Like maybe people also feel like you're just very, very mature when it comes to money. Like you're very you're good at like you're good at saving up money, but also people might feel like you're maybe saying no to certain things because you're not willing to spend the money on it. Like maybe someone invites you to the theater and you say to them, no, I can't go because like I don't want to waste money on that. And maybe people feel like that's like that you're kind of not really doing what you're supposed to do for the rest of the group in a way. Like that maybe they felt like it was a bonding experience that you didn't want to partake in because you didn't want to spend money on it, and that they knew that you had the money, you just didn't want to waste it on that. And so they feel like maybe you prioritize your money in a way where they feel like they are not prioritized in this plan of yours to save money for this one thing. Like they feel like they are a bit left out of that plan that you have. Like you're not taking that into account, that you need to go to the theater sometimes with your besties because that's how you hold on to those friendships. Of course, they can also do things that don't require a lot of money, but maybe you have some friends who just really enjoy to do things that cost money. And so they don't feel like they can have you in the group when you aren't willing to spend money in order to be with the group. And they don't seem to understand why you're saving up to this thing when like they feel like you have enough money to actually do these things, and that you could just postpone this thing that you're saving up to, that you don't have to live on such a budget, like such a very restricted budget in order to accomplish this one thing that you really want to do or really want to save up money for, and that you should prioritize your friendships, going out and eating dinner with your friends, going to bars and buying drinks and going to the theater and do things like that with your friends. There might also have been certain parties, like maybe at work. This could also be your colleagues. Like there might have been a party at work where everybody was saying like everybody has to pay a certain amount of money in order for this party to be held. And you might have said that you don't want to spend the money on it because you are not really, then you would rather not go if you have to spend that much money on it. And they might have felt like you weren't really participating in the social part of the job, or like they felt like they needed your contribution in order to make it a better party, and without your contribution it kind of ended up being a low budget party, and that they felt like you should have tipped in like everybody else, even if you weren't willing to go. So with the Six of Wands, even though yes, there is this money thing, that you sit on your money, but people do still see you as like the life of the party. That's also why they want you at the party. Go to the party. Even if it costs a bit. Like even like people want you there, and so they feel like you are also ruining it for them by being so cheap, because they want you at the party because you're the life of the party. They don't want you to not go. That would be a boring ass party without you. So like people just want, and people want you to go to the theater with them because you're the funny one in the group. They know that, like, they can go to drinks afterwards after the theater, and then they know that you're gonna say hilarious stuff about the play. Like that you're gonna say that something like, oh yeah, like, so you're gonna tell them your opinion about it, and they always know that your opinion is gonna be funny, and because you have a funny view on things. Like you can see the hilarious in the mundane, and you can crack a joke about something even if you're like watching the most boring serious play. You can make it into a comedy afterwards by reenacting it, but just with funny voices or whatever. Like but making it, taking a funny take on it, like, or whatever. Like people see you as someone, like people really want to spend more time with you. They really want you to go out and have fun with them, and people would like to spend more time with you. And especially in those periods of time where you withdraw a bit, and that might be because of finance. It's like you withdraw sometimes because you think, oh shit, I've spent way too much money on stupid things this month, and so next month I have to just do nothing and sit at home every weekend and watch Netflix, because that's the only way I'm going to recover from that month of doing all of the expensive stuff. And so people, like, that might be why you withdraw, but people feel like, oh shit, now what fun is that for them? Like they don't want to go to do stuff, like they don't want to go clubbing without you. They don't want to do that. They don't want to go to the theater without you, because that would be boring. Like the theater is boring to these people who is in your friend group. They don't like the theater. I feel like some of them, they don't actually like the theater. They only like it because they have you there, and that they know that you're gonna make fun of it in the funniest way. And so yeah, like people, like there's actually absolutely no gossip here, just besides the thing about you being a bit cheap, and but besides that, like, and of course the bipolar thing, but it's not in your friend group, it's more in your family, I think. But with the Nine of Wands, I think, well, people do see, like, you get a bit defensive sometimes. Like, maybe you defend your own choices. Like if you don't want to waste money on going to do something with your friends, you might feel very attacked when they try to push you to do that, and you might get very defensive and get very, like, maybe a bit mean about it. Like you don't even like to go to the theater, or like that you might say that to them, that, oh, they don't even like it, or like, why would they want to and maybe you might even, like, put the mirror up against them, which is a bit bad, by saying, like, oh, you shouldn't be wasting your money on this either. You should also save money and think about the future and not waste money on stupid things when there's a future that you have to think about. Or but you might also get into a bit of some people might be saying that you play the victim sometimes, and I don't really know what it's about, but I think sometimes you might get defensive and kind of, if you feel like people are attacking you, you might attack them back, and then like you might do it a bit harsher than the original attack. Like you might be the type of person who sometimes gets revenge like tenfold. Like if someone crosses you, you tend to make their life miserable, or and then when you get confronted with that, with the size of the revenge, how it was tenfold and that it was uncalled for, really, then you might play the victim and say that they started it, and that it was justified, even if it wasn't completely justified. Like even if you might have overly over exaggerated or overreacted a bit on something, and like maybe you tend to overreact sometimes when people cross you, and you don't seem to be like, sometimes you're very stubborn in convincing people that it was justified, that you had all the right to say that to someone because they said that something else to you that was a bit smaller, but still like that they started it, and so everything after they started it was justified. And I think in many situations, I think you were right. Like I think it was justified, but I think people are gossiping about how it might not have been completely justified, that you might have gone a bit overboard in trying to get revenge on someone. Maybe like someone said something to you and then you didn't talk to them for 3 months, and maybe people felt like that was maybe stretching it. Like maybe keeping them out in the cold for that long was maybe not justified just because they called you a whore. Like maybe, like even though it was horrible that this person called you a whore, 3 months is a long time out in the cold. So like but yeah, maybe you should have just called this person a whore, and then they called it even. But I don't know. But I don't know. But I'm just sensing that there might be some gossip about that. But overall, like I feel like people really look up to you, and so people talk about you in high regards. Like people really like you. They really want to spend more time with you, and so yeah. But I think that's all I have for you. Group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll watch my next video as well. And yeah, have a very great day, and bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this the Cook's Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 6, the people who will choose group number 6. Group number 6. What's the gossip about group number 6? What are people saying about group number 6 behind their back? I'm actually sensing that there's not a lot of gossip about you, group number 6. People are not really it's not that like people are not talking about you. It's not that. It's more that people are not talking about anything that they're not saying directly to you. Like people are not like people are the things that people are talking about are things that they have already talked to you about. So they talk to you about it and then they have repeated it to other people. But I'm sensing that people aren't like, you seem like a very straightforward person. Like you're very open and you say things as they are. And people tend to do the same to you. So, and maybe it's also something you're able to you seem to have some kind of gift of opening other people up. So I think you have a good grasp on people. Like when you talk to people, you talk to them very openly, honestly, and you're very genuine in your way of communicating, and that makes other people do the same towards you. Like it unlocks their openness. Like you can unlock other people, you can open them up. Like you can make them be honest and genuine towards you too. Like people mimic you, like do the same as you. So when you're open, they are open as well. And so I feel like people you say, if you have a problem with a person, you say it to their face. Not in a bad way. You do it in a very polite and respectful way, but you like if there is something that you sense is off, then you say it right away. Like you put it into words. Like you are able to put a feeling into words very easily. So if you feel like something's off, or something, you just ask the person, like what's this, like why is this not flowing smoothly? Like what's the deal here? Why? And maybe you also can tell sometimes, like if like you might be able to like take. You're good at sensing if there's a misunderstanding. Like if there's some kind of miscommunication, you are very good at pinpointing it and talking about it and completely wiping it off the board. So there aren't any misconceptions or miscommunications. Like people go to you, they talk to you, and like people don't have any need to talk to other people about you because you covered it. Like you made sure that there was nothing nothing that nothing that was kept unsaid. That so I just feel like, also I feel like you might be saying to, like, when people gossip about others, you might say to people that you don't want to do that, like that you don't like gossiping about others, or that you have like or that you don't want to talk about someone who's not in the room to defend themselves. Like you might say that to people when they start gossiping about others, or and so people don't gossip about you because I think they feel like they want to give you the same respect as you give to others. Like they see you as a bit of, like, I think many people see you as a bit of a gem. Like you're a very pure gem. Like you're such a, like, people just like the way you are, and like the how genuine you are and how good of a person you are. And so they don't feel like gossiping about you because they feel like they would betray you if they did that. And they don't want to betray you because you might also be very good at forming loyalty. Like people feel so loyal to you that they don't want to break that loyalty with you. So they don't dare to talk, to gossip about you, because if you hear about it, that there has been gossip about you, then you wouldn't be able to forgive them, and they want you to like it's I feel like people just don't see you as the type of person they can actually gossip about, because you're because you wouldn't gossip about them. Like I feel like many people know that you wouldn't do the same to them, and so they don't want to do that to you. Like many people gossip about other people, but that's because they know that they are gossiping about them, and so the gossip just keeps going because everybody justifies it by saying, oh yeah, but they gossip about me too, so what, I know that they, like, every time I go out of the room, they talk about me, and so when another person goes out of the room, I'm gonna talk about them because I know that's how but people don't feel that way towards you. People don't feel like you actually stoop to that level. Like you're a bit better in that sense, better than the others, a bit more pure than other people. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like people might gossip about how you're a bit sometimes you might not know a lot about things, like you're very smart. Group number 6. You're very smart people, but but I think people might gossip about. Like I don't think they gossip about this because I think they it's not gossip. People say this about you, but they also say this directly to your face, so you already know. But people might joke about how there are certain things that you don't that you haven't heard of. and people might say, like, have you lived under a stone? Like, how can you not know about this? And it could have to do with like pop culture, like maybe musicians that are very in at the moment, or TV shows that are very in at the moment. You might watch a lot of TV shows, but maybe not the current ones, like the ones that are being hyped in the media right now. Like you might be more of the type who likes to watch shows that came out 10 years ago or even 20 years ago. And you might like to listen to music that's maybe 40 years came out 40 years ago or 50 years ago. Like you might not be very current, like you're in when it comes to what's popular right now. Like you might not know what's popular right now, and maybe it's also something you're not ashamed of at all, and maybe you even joke about it yourself, that you have absolutely no idea who this and that and whatever that guy is, like who that you you might also joke about how like you have kind of lost track of it, like you don't know what's like like it's so much like but I'm also sensing that there could be something about horses. Like this person is riding a horse, so maybe you used to ride horses as a child, or maybe you still do. But that could be something people are talking about. How your maybe also that maybe you've also talked about how you would like a more simple life. Like you would like to have a farm one day and maybe have some horses or some cows and some goats or whatever and live like a farmer's life, or live a life that's more maybe you've talked about how you want to live off the land, or that you want some sustainable kind of thing, something where you can live like off the grid or something as well, like that you would like some like to be maybe also out, like that you don't want to be a part of the modern life. Maybe you are tired of the how the modern life is. Like maybe you don't have a smartphone, maybe you have like an old school cell phone, because you feel like smartphones are ruining life, and that you don't like the idea of just everybody looking down at their phone and not being present in the moment and stuff like that. And you might be very open about that and saying that to people, that that you that without being negative. Like I feel like you're not negative about it. You're just like, you're not bashing the smartphones. Like you're not hating on them. You're just saying that you feel like it would be better if like if they weren't there. In a way. You're very respectful. I feel like you say it in a very respectful way, where you don't offend anyone. Like you say to people that you're fine with people being into TikTok and doing TikTok videos themselves, and like you don't have a problem with that, with people doing that. But you would rather do things in a different way, or that there's a I don't know. So people might, like, because this knight here, like this, he's drinking, so there could be some gossip about you drinking too much, but I don't think it's like that big of a deal, and it's not like a big rumor or anything, because it's not a rumor. Like, people, because I don't think people gossip about you. I keep holding on to that. I think people talk about you, but it's things that they also say to you. So if people have said to you that maybe you're drinking a bit too much, then then you would know. It wouldn't. So if no one has said that to your face by now, then this doesn't resonate. Then it's not for you. Then the information is not for you. Because I feel like anything that would come up in this is something that people in some way have already said to you, or maybe said to you indirectly, but or hinted at or something. But with the Ace of Wands, I think people might be saying that you're a bit. People say that you're someone who's good at starting things. You're good at, like, you're kind of a first mover. Like, you're good at starting projects. You're good at hyping other people up. Like, you're good at making other people interested in things that you're interested in, and you're good at like, you're very passionate about what you do, and you might do something that's kind of boring, but you seem to be able to find something in that, whatever it is you're doing. Like, find something fun in it. Like, find the fun part of it, or hype the fun part of it. You might focus a lot on the positive instead of the negative. Like, you're very good at emphasizing the positive sides of whatever you're doing, instead of the negative sides. So you might also be one of those people who like to see the good in people. Like, when you meet new people, you tend to maybe give them a bit, like, you're very tolerant. Like, you talk to everyone in the same way, and like, you approach everyone in the same way, and you don't get you don't get scared off. Like, if you meet someone who's dressed up in like a biker, or so, like, someone who looks very, very brawly, or very, what's it called, like, very yeah, you go to that person and you speak to them as you would speak to someone, like, to your bestie. Like, you're you don't. So you're very, like, you and you give people a proper chance. Like, you don't judge people unfairly when you meet them. Like, you don't have a lot of prejudice. Like, you meet everyone with an open mind, and you give them a lot of time before they change your mind about them. Like, it seems as if your mind is also always like, positive at first. Like, you have always a positive mind at first when you meet someone, and that your mind doesn't change until they say something really horrible, and then you kind of retreat from it, the conversation. But you kind of give people maybe a bit too much of a chance sometimes. But I think you want to see the good in people, and you do try to see the good in people. You try to understand everyone. Like, you have a strong need to understand people and understand why they are the way they are, and why they say the things they say, and why they do the things they do. And because you want to form an understanding of them, like why, and so, and people see you doing that, and people admire you for it. People admire that you have this ability to look past certain red flags when you talk to people. Like, you don't let a small thing like a face tattoo or something scare you off. Like, you will still approach a person as if they were another, like you're just talking to people, everybody in the same way, I guess. Like, and people admire that. And with the justice reversed, this is someone on a scale, and so it's reversed. So I feel like this could both mean, this could both mean that you might have had weight issues in the past, like maybe an eating disorder or something, or and so you have something that you struggled with maybe as a teenager, and maybe that's also why you have such an open mind to everyone, because you know how it is to struggle with something. Like, you know how that feels, and so you know that behind people's strong exterior might be just a fragile person with underneath, or like, I don't know, but you might just know how it is to struggle, or how it is to feel like people are judging you for your appearance. Maybe back when you were, like, if you have had anorexia, you might have struggled a lot with people looking at you and thinking that there was something wrong with you because of the way you looked. And maybe you felt like they were judging you for the way you looked. Like, if you were very skinny, they might have judged you for being and kind of not that they weren't able to see that it was a disorder, that it was an illness that you had, but they just judged you and thought you were just that somehow it was your own fault, and that it was just something you, like, that maybe also looking at you as a very superficial person that was just trying to work yourself towards an ideal that of like a beauty image, or like a ideal image of beauty, or whatever, that you were and maybe people have judged you for, or you felt like people were judging you for being superficial back then, that you were just so preoccupied with your looks that you were starving yourself, when in fact you were never ever superficial. That was never the thing that was like, it wasn't about that. It was an illness that you had. It had nothing to do with being superficial or being like, but maybe people have judged you for that in the past, or you felt like they were. And so now, like, you don't judge anyone from the way they look. Because you know how it is to feel like people are judging you for the way you look. And so this could also have been the opposite. Like if it wasn't an anorexia, it could have been been an eating disorder that caused you to be obese, and people might have judged you unfairly, even though you couldn't actually, that it was a disorder. So, but I just feel like that was a very hard, like for some of you, even if I know that maybe some of you haven't experienced anything like this, and so just ignore it. The message is not for you. But for those of you where this resonates, I feel like people talk about how that has actually made you a greater person. So the fact that you struggled with this in the past, with an eating disorder or something like that in the past, has made you a more open and tolerant and not superficial at all. Like you are the completely opposite of superficial. You don't judge anyone for the way they look, and because you know what it's like. So and people feel like that makes you a great person, that you and people feel like you are very, very people feel very seen by you. Like people can tell that you can see them for what they are, like for who they are, like that you're able to look past and peel all the layers and see the core in people, see the soul in a person, and really, like, it seems people can tell right away that you get them, that you see them, that you can look directly into their soul, and that you know them. Like people feel very familiar around you, or that there's some kind of familiarity that is created when you meet a complete stranger. The stranger feels like, it's weird because it seems as if you've known each other forever. Like and that's the thing that everybody experiences when they meet you, is that they feel like right away, like right in the first moment that they meet you, they feel like they've known you their whole life. Like there's just something about you where people feel like they can trust you, they feel loyal towards you, they feel your loyalty, they feel like they can be open towards you, and because they feel that they feel like they can, like because you know them and they know you, and so it's like talking to a long lost friend. Like so yeah, but that is the gossip about you, or what people are talking about behind your back, but also in it's yeah. And so yeah, I hope this reading was helpful. Group number 6, I hope, and I hope you will watch my next video as well. And yeah, have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 7. You chose this Miss Cleo's tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. group number 7. So group number 7, the people who will choose group number 7. Group number 7, what's the gossip about group number 7? The people who will choose group number 7, what's the gossip about group number 7? Okay, so there's something about you having you seem to have some kind of skill that you're really good at, like you're really talented, and you do a lot to teach people to do it. Like you make an effort into teaching other people how to do this skill. And people, it's not gossip in that sense, but people really admire you, that you're willing to share your gift with others or help people obtain the same skill as you have. Like, you're not one of those selfish people who can do something and then you sit on it and you don't share it with anyone because you don't want people to be as good as you. Like, it's like having like a secret recipe and not wanting to share it with anyone because you don't want anyone to be able to make just as good a lasagna as you. But I feel like you're not that type of person, or at least that's what people are saying, is that you're very open to sharing your secrets, like what like if something is working out for you, if you're doing something that you're actually succeeding at, or then you're very willing to let people in on the secret, like, or let people in on your secret. Like, you might be the type of person who shares recipes. Like, if you have a recipe, or if you then you share it with others. And but you're also like it's more like if you've lost weight, you also you share your secret to that, like how you did that. But I feel like there's also like, people see you as a good like a sharer. Like, you share things with people. You're not, but and this could be advice, or it could be like teaching others to do stuff. But it's also like, I think it's also like, in general, like you share things, like also objects. Like, if you read a good book, then you're and someone comes up to you and like ask you what you're reading, and you say like, oh, you're reading this book, and they ask you if, oh, is it any good, and you say, yeah, it is, and you can borrow it when I'm done with it, of course. And like, so you say that to people, and I think people pick up on the fact that you're not you seem to be very generous, and you seem to want people to experience the same things as you. Like, if you have a good experience with something, you want people to share that experience. Like, you don't want it just for yourself. Like, if you go eat at a good restaurant, you're gonna tell people that it was a good restaurant, so that other people can eat there too and have the same good experience with it as you did. Like some people, if they go to a good restaurant, they don't want to tell anyone because they don't want it to become crowded, or they don't want people to they don't want the word to come out. But you really seem to want people to have good experiences, like share in on your good experience. It seems like it kind of makes you, it helps you have a better experience if you can share it with someone else. Like it's like one thing is having the experience, the other thing is to tell other people about it so that they can have the experience too, so that you can see the pictures on Instagram, so that you can feel like, oh yay, they went too, how good for them, and like that's so fun that they did that too, so that the experience, like it's a gift that keeps on giving. Like you keep getting joy from it when you share it with others. And like it's like watching a movie and then telling other people that they should watch a movie too, because then you can talk to them about it, and then like the movie will have it will live forever, or live for a long time past the 2 hours that the duration time was. Then you can kind of extend its life. And it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And people really seem to enjoy that you are like this, and it might admire you for it. But there are some people, of course, like with everything, some people might find this a bit annoying because they feel like you're maybe trying to push them to do things. Like they feel a bit of a pressure to do it. Like if you say that, oh, you should do this, and then they feel like they should because you said so. Or if you say that they should watch this movie, then they're probably never gonna watch it. And then they feel bad every time you ask them if they have watched the movie yet, because. And then they feel pressured, like that, and they feel like you're pushy, or you're trying to push them into trying to control them. When in all actuality, you just want to share your experience with them, so that it can get an extended life, and that you can keep getting joy from it. And so it's really not like people are just misunderstanding this as you trying to control what they are doing. So with the moon here, you might be a Pisces, but or another water sign like a Cancer or a Scorpio, but you have this personality where you just want to you want to do things for others, or you want to care for others. You want and people might misinterpret your care or love as a bit like you're being clingy, or that you're clingy. But I think like these are like these people who like the people who think you're clingy, they don't seem to be the people that actually deserve you in their life. They seem like miserable people, because I act like I wish I had a friend like you, honestly. Like I would want someone to recommend that I should watch this and that movie, or what. Like no one is recommending me anything, and so why not? Like I would like to be sometimes the recommendations are just wasted on the wrong people. And so but yeah, I think people might see you as some people just want to, like, there are some people out there who are just have like their like head way too far up in their own ass, and like they don't they don't seem to really appreciate people just being casually social, like being casually like texting them saying, oh, I just watched this movie, it was really great, I think you should watch it too. Like that's just like that's normal, it's very normal. But some people see it, oh yeah, this person is just clingy, or yeah, they just want to, they are just craving attention all the time, and like, but it's just people who don't really want to be a part of your life. That's the type of people you don't want in your life. If they don't want to be a part of your life, then you don't want them in your life. And so like there's also like someone who like there might, you might have visited someone, and you stayed for the whole weekend or something, and you were having a very good time, but in their mind, even though like they seemed to enjoy it, they might have felt like you overstayed your welcome in some way, that they felt like you were maybe even using them, which I don't think is such a weird way to look at it. Sometimes, like, there are some people who feel like if someone comes for a visit, then it's because they are using the other person. Like, especially if you live in another city or in another country, and you want to visit that person, and so you of course have to stay at their place because they live far away. They, of course, you would have to stay and like sleep at their place, but it shouldn't be a problem. Like, how else would you spend time with each other if you live far away from each other? Like, how else can you keep the friendship going if you're not actually going to spend time physically together? Like, but some people will see that as, oh, you're just using that person to be out traveling without getting a hotel room. Like, it's this whole thing. I don't know. I don't think you've. No, this is not the person. Like, no, this is not the person who you were visiting. Like, I feel like some of you were visiting someone in another country or in another city, and you stayed at their place because they invited you and you were very welcome. But someone else, another person in the friend group, or someone completely different, have been gossiping about this and said that you overstayed your welcome, that you just used that friend, and that you were just taking advantage of their hospitality, when that was not the case at all. You were very welcome and you were invited, and there was not a problem, but someone is talking shit about it for some reason. Maybe this person was just jealous that it wasn't them who were actually invited, or that it hasn't, like, no, I don't think you overstayed your welcome at all. So, but if that doesn't resonate with with all of you, like, this might have just been a specific message for a few of you, but so yeah, like there is like one, like you can see in this card here, like there's like this dog here, and like this dog is like just casually chilling with this scorpion as well. Like they're just casually chilling and having the time of their life. And then there's like this moon here watching over them with this like disapproval in their look, like looking at it like, oh yeah, like kind of judging from afar. So this is someone else. It's someone else judging you for having the time of your life with someone else. Like, so this could be your mother, who's like seeing you. Like maybe you visited someone, and your mother felt like you didn't visit them, or visit her, and so she felt like that was or something. I don't know. But yeah. So what else? What's the gossip about group number 7? The Hanged Man. So people do seem to gossip about how you're a bit late sometimes, that you're not really on time, and like but I feel like you compensate. Like sometimes you don't get to a place on time, but then you kind of try to figure out a way to compensate for that fact. Like if you are late for a dinner party, then you rush to the store and buy something to the host to kind of make up for you being late. Like so you try to do something in order to make up for it, but still people do gossip about how, oh, you never come on time, and maybe also that you're not participating in the preparation parts. Like maybe some people have invited you to come and come to a dinner party, but you were invited a bit earlier because you had to help with making the food or something, and then you ended up being late, and then people are kind of talking about how you were maybe trying to avoid the part of where you were actually supposed to help out. But I don't think that's true. I think it because I don't see you as the type of person who wouldn't help out. Like you seem to actually rather enjoy that. Like you enjoy helping out, and cooking food, and doing stuff like that. So so yeah, people might have just gotten the wrong idea about you, and but I'm also sensing that there might be some things that you might have procrastinated, maybe in terms of work or in school or something, where you might have something that you haven't finished yet, and people might be talking about how you're never gonna finish it because you're so late, or you're just gonna postpone it again, or something. But with death reversed, I think people see you as very much. People see you as quite motherly, and people might be talking about how you should have children, or like if you don't have children, people are kind of gossiping about how you or talking about how you should have children, and that you should kind of get that process started quite soon. Like maybe that's what you have been postponing, like procrastinated your like pregnancy. Like maybe people feel like you have pushed it to like, oh yeah, maybe next year, but people feel like maybe some people are kind of losing patience with this, because maybe especially family members might be losing patience and feeling like you need to get that going, start a family, so that you can also participate in the family stuff that the family is doing, where it kind of requires that you have children to be able to participate in those things, like children's birthdays. It would be a lot more fun if you had children on your own, and so stuff like that. But also, like, people see you as someone who's quite good with children. Like you're good at teaching children. Like maybe you are a teacher or thinking of becoming a teacher, but also if you're not, like, I feel like people see you as someone like you're good at teaching children stuff. Like maybe even just children within your family. Like you have the patience to sit down and teach them how to play cards, or how to tell them the rules of the card games or something like that. Like you have the patience for children, and you have the patience to teach children things, and so I think especially your family members, they have seen that you can do that very easily, and that you would be a very good mother, and that you just have to like get going, get that process moving. So with the Queen of Cups, I think people are talking about how you're maybe a bit sensitive sometimes, like, and maybe a bit hypersensitive. Like you might have, like, you might be a bit sensitive to loud noises, or a bit sensitive to, like, you might get like sensory overload sometimes, like where you just like feel like there's too much going on at once, and so you kind of need to withdraw. Like sometimes you might go to a party, but then like it gets too much, like there's too much going on at once, and so you just tell people that you need to go home and rest, like, because it's too many things going on. And I think people don't actually seem to have that much understanding when it comes to that. Like people don't seem to really empathize with you on that part. Like they don't understand why you just can't just force your way through it like the rest of them, or they feel like they are having sensory overload all the time, especially maybe if this is family members. Like maybe there are some family members who have, like, maybe your siblings might have children of their own, and they feel like they have small children and they have noises all the time, like children screaming at them all hours of the day, and so they feel like, oh, you shouldn't like complain about sensory overload, because like they have had that since the children were born, and so they feel like you have nothing to complain about, that you just need to have children of your own, and then you will see that there's no such thing, like that you just have to like pull yourself together and just force your way through it, even though it's a bit uncomfortable. But of course you don't have to. And that's also the thing that I think these family members, they don't realize that you have a privilege that they don't have. Because like if you don't have children and you go to children's parties with your family, you don't have to be there. You're there for your, like, because you wanted to, or but you didn't have to. It wasn't an obligation that you had, but you went there, and then like you just felt like it was just maybe a bit too much, and you had the privilege to leave because there was nothing that was tying you there. Like so you are, of course, you can actually use that as an excuse because you don't have to live through the pain, like, or you don't have to force your way through your own boundaries yet. You will maybe have to do that when you have children, but for now you kind of have the privilege to just say no and withdraw, because you can do that. And so yeah, but of course you still should probably go to the parties anyways, because of course it's good to do to just but listen to your own boundaries. Like if you don't and don't feel ashamed of setting boundaries for yourself. Like if you feel like it's a bit too much, then you are in your right to leave. But I feel like but people still, like, I think people see you as someone who's generally very selfless. Like you do a lot for others. You're very generous, and like what's yours is theirs. Like you're very much like you don't, and you're very open to helping out with things, and like so, and people see that too. So it's not like people do see you as a very like people talk about you as a good person, and it's very obvious that you want the best for others. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I hope you'll watch my next video as well, and have a blessed day, and bye.